Alright guys, in this video I'm going to be going over the newest D-Subtic movement config that got released right before 2025. Now in this video I'm going to be showing you how to set it up and how to use every part of the config just like my old videos so no one is lost or left behind. Now I will warn you, Valve has a history of changing and removing these configs, so when you join my Discord to download the config, maybe you should stick around because the people in my Discord are the first to know about config related updates. And just because I get a comment about this every single time, you will not get banned for using a config. If you're using a config and a macro, you can get banned. But if you're using a D-Subtic config and you're using your hands on your keyboard and mouse, you're not going to flag the VAC anti-cheat. But anyways, here's how you get your hands on such crucial configing. Click the second link in the description. If this doesn't work for you, you can just click add a new server and then type trip. Once you're here, you're going to have to go through the onboarding process probably, but once you're done with that, you're just going to click on the config tab. You're going to click download on movement.zip here, and I'm only uploading this to a Discord server because the config is about 11 megabytes. So 11 megabytes is 11 million bytes, which means it's 11 million characters inside the config, which is why I'm not putting that in the YouTube description. I'm sorry. But anyways, once you have movement.zip downloaded, you're going to want to navigate to your Steam library, and then you're going to want to open CS2. Then you're going to want to right click on CS2, then you're going to want to hover over manage, then you're going to want to make your way down to browse local files. Most people get it mixed up here. You're going to want to click on the game folder, not the CSGO folder, the game folder. Then you're going to want to click on the CSGO folder, then the CFG folder. Now that you're finally here, you get to open your movement.zip, and then you drag the movement folder into the CFG folder. Now that you have that, it's time to start setting up your auto exec. So to start making your auto exec, we're just going to hover over view real quick and make sure that file name extensions is checked on. Now if you already have your auto exec, you can just get into modifying it, but if you don't have it, you can right click here, and then click new text document. Then you're going to name it autoexec.cfg. You're going to get a pop-up that doesn't look like this, and you're just going to click yes on it. Now once you have autoexec.cfg, you're just going to right click it, and then you're going to click open with, and then you're going to click notepad. Now that you have this open, you can just type in whatever command you want, and it will be executed whenever you load up the game. Now in the Discord that I've forced you all to join to get this config, there is my auto exec. I would just recommend copying my auto exec, and then you can change things as you like. The most important thing about the auto exec is that you have exec space movement slash setup at the very bottom. And I'm going to teach you guys how to D-Subtic to Bhop bind. Very frequently what people will be doing when they're telling me they can't Bhop is they are scrolling way too fast. Now some mice have a maximum amount of speed that you can scroll before it stops giving you scroll inputs, and some mice just limit your scroll speed so that it appears that you're getting all of the scroll inputs when in reality you're getting maybe about 2/3 of the scroll inputs that you are actually doing. So regardless of what mouse you actually have and what its limits are, I just advise that you scroll at this medium pace, a little bit slower. Just slow it down a little bit from what you're actually doing, and you might hit a lot more Bhops. Now I'm going to teach you guys how to use my LJ bind. I'm going to tell you guys the buttons that I'm using in the config that I provided. So I've set up a toggle insta-strafe LJ bind, and it will show you which way the bind is going to insta-strafe through the view model. So if the view model is to the left, it's going to strafe to the left. If the view model is to the right, it's going to strafe to the right. To switch between these with my LJ bind, I have it set up so that if I press mouse 3, it'll switch between my right hand and my left hand, and my left and right LJ bind. Now most people are pretty good at LJing one way, but not the other. That's very true for me. I can only LJ going to the right. Now most people do more than 4 strafes, but personally I got my 4 strafe pretty consistent, and I can 4 strafe most of the jumps that people are doing 5, 6, or 7 strafes for. So really, maybe I would just advise you to learn how to do a lower amount of strafes because it might just be easier. But anyways, now I'm going to teach you guys how to use my favorite bind, which is the jump bug bind. And I'm just going to use cat to chair as the most infamous example here. So for cat to chair, you need to give yourself some space because it's kind of a far jump. You need to run up here, and then you need to crouch jump or long jump. You need to crouch, and then you're gonna hit the jump bug bind like it's a spacebar Bhop. Now recently in an update to CS2, Valve changed where you can jump bug and basically how it works. So before on CS2, you could just normally jump instead of having to long jump. But in one of the recent updates, they made it so that if you jump, you cannot jump bug on flat ground afterwards. But if you LJ bind, you can still jump bug on the flat ground. So some people didn't notice this because they were already LJ binding, and some people immediately noticed this because they couldn't jump bug at all. But anyways guys, that is the end of the video. If you want to practice your movement, you can go to this link that has a ton of KZ servers. You're not asking me questions about the name of the KZ, so you're not asking me questions about it. Okay? No questions. Goodbye.